from here forth. Talk about our knees.
Welcome to Vision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise and News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WINA, and brought to you by the Jefferson School Foundation with Marky and Price, coming to you in the studio from downtown Charlottesville. Today, we're thrilled to be joined by Carla Hallman, the Director of Human Resources at Farmington Country Club, founder of Mosaic Management Solutions, and U.S. military veteran. She also sits on numerous boards that I cannot count or say. But most excitingly for me, our next guest on in this episode of Vision Radio.
Y'all two together doing all manner of stuff. Highly active individuals.
Carla about to have a website, so look out.
I am. You know what? Nothing like a good, loving push from a friend to get it done.
Do you have a website, Price?
For what?
It's like you're accomplished.
I
a website
think
with all
you
your
both should have a
accomplishments.
website. You should have individual ones for the amount of work that you both amazingly do.
When you do
are
cross-sector work.
in articles and
You've written
publications
articles
across
and
the
publications.
communication.
I've told you this forever.
community.
All I want to do is be left alone. Y'all need to leave me alone.
And yet you still do so much for the community. I feel like that is something you all should do. And you should have one together for the work you guys do as announcers and
There you go.
presenters.
Every
and-
time
We
somebody
did
has
have a busy fall. We did do a bunch of stuff in the fall.
Every time somebody has a website, I'm like, oh, this is nice.
It's gonna be nice.
This
It's
had a
gonna be nice,
headshot on there. I don't even gotta ask you for your
yeah,
headshot.
yeah,
I could
yeah.
have just went copy paste.
Yeah.
You know,
And take it or leave it.
That's
I
right.
think, a testament to my communications, my director of communications, who I went into his office like very lovingly, and I was like, so I just cut all my locks off, and I don't have a headshot. Can you take a picture of me?
Here's
And-
a bunt cake. And
Yeah.
by the way,
yeah.
When you sent your headshot, I was like, oh, you changed your hair. But I actually thought it was an old photo.
Yeah.
I was like, Carla sent me a photo from 5 years ago.
No, it's new.
Before she
yeah.
grew her locks.
Yeah. So it's been maybe 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, I love you so much. Can you do this for me? And he was like, yeah, I got you. So,
what was the impetus behind the change?
you know, I think I wanted something new.
Yeah.
It was the longest I had ever like let my hair be.
Yeah.
And it was a thing I wanted to do. I used to change my hair like every month. I had like different colors.
one of those.
Okay.
Yes, I used to do like braids and then
Yeah.
and then extensions and then I would relax
Frohawk
it and I've had a mohawk
Oh.
that was blonde. I had a blonde
What?
relaxed
Oh my
mohawk.
God.
Yeah,
What?
my husband and I are like really into like metal and rock
rock.
music
Yeah.
and things like
Okay.
that. So I went through like a
Sure.
metal mohawk phase.
Sure.
I was also in the military, so I've had a shaved head before.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, it's going to be the thing that I do, and it's going to stay like this forever. And I got 8 years in, and I was like, meh. I loved
That's a long
it.
time.
It was a long time,
That's a
and I
long
loved
time.
it.
Commitment.
And I loved them, but also I was thinking about it for a while. My loctician, I thought about it for almost a year. I told her a year ago I was thinking about it.
Okay.
I was like, we're going to
Succession
table that.
planning. Like we
Is
gotta.
your,
Yeah.
is your loctician local?
No, she's in Richmond.
Everybody go to Richmond.
Where do you go?
Ruckersville, right where I,
Oh,
right
okay.
where I live at. I go
Yeah.
right down the street, take 2 minutes to get there. But she, I don't want to say, but she does keep me waiting, but she fits me in every time.
Oh, that's nice.
How long have you had yours?
2019, before I graduated from UVA.
Okay.
7? Is that 7 now?
Ish.
It would have been May
Yeah.
20.
Sure. Yeah, right around there.
Yeah, but I was actually thinking about cutting off a couple inches. I'm not going to cut it. I'm not at that phase in my life. I need the hair.
You're not old like us.
Right. And I'm just going to cut 4 inches because it's getting super heavy.
It's heavy. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I can't even get it wet. My hair, my
Yeah.
neck. Yes.
Yeah, so it was, I loved it. But then, and my sister has like beautiful locks.
Okay.
And I was like, nah, it's not gonna look like that.
Okay.
Ever. So I was
Okay.
just like, I'm gonna do something different. So we cut it off. And
That's
as
cute.
she was cutting them, she about halfway through was like, you were ready for this. And I was like,
Really?
why do you say so? She said, you didn't cry.
But
You
see,
didn't
most
make,
people probably
like,
have
she
a-
said
like a
people are usually
reaction.
having like a huge
Oh,
emotional
interesting.
reaction to
Okay.
it. And
Yeah.
you've just been like holding them in your hand.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So I was like,
Okay.
oh, yeah, I
okay.
guess so. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. Also, it's gonna be like great for the summer.
The
'cause
summer,
it's already
this is the perfect thing to do for the summer.
Yeah. Low maintenance.
Yeah. it's-
Right. Like.
Well, is a bald head low maintenance? I heard it's a lot of maintenance actually. Like the oils. To like making sure your scalp ain't dry because it's facing the sun.
You do
Like,
have to.
There's like 3 inches from my
Sunscreen.
scalp to the sun. There's some protection. But when you're like bald, you have to do a lot of like moisturizing. You have to do 3 moisturizers.
Yeah, and you have to sunscreen.
Yeah, like you have to put
skin
sunscreen.
protection.
It's true.
So
I
it's
will
actually
say
a high maintenance hairstyle.
I this is actually long. It's been like 3 weeks, and I'm like, ooh, I gotta get a haircut.
Oh, really?
So I probably
are you like short?
Yeah,
like that's like my mom's like
I
that.
did a full Caesar.
Oh,
It was like
really?
shorter than yours when I cut it. Yeah.
Really? Okay. Okay.
And
So
then,
you're doing the bald. They're gonna
oh
do
yeah,
the bald.
I'm
Okay.
gonna get this.
Yep, you're gonna have to put sunscreen on your head.
I already bought some. There's a really good invisible one.
Yeah.
Is it specifically is it sunscreen specifically for hair? Or for
Specifically for black people.
Yeah.
Hey,
You got like a target on your head.
Black girl sunscreen.
Yeah, exactly.
love
Yeah, that's
that.
right.
It's really great.
Bet you that's what you expected for the first 6 minutes. Talk about
we get into the root
what
of
we
who
do
these
with the
people are.
top of our heads.
The roots.
Wow. Wow. I wish you could have seen how excited you were about that. That's crazy.
follicle of the
Well,
episode.
here, as we said earlier, Carla is more than her hair.
India.
But then, shout out to India.
Shout out to India.
For those, for folks who don't know you and or your hair, or haven't got the chance to work with you, talk a little. Let's start at the beginning. And this is our disclaimer for the show. Is we start at the same place every time. No one knows where we're going to end or what twists and turns we will take. So from here, all those questions we sent you are probably useless, but we'll use them as guideposts and we'll go from there.
I'm so excited.
Right? But yeah, tell us about growing up and where you're from, and then we'll find out how you made it here.
Okay. Well, really from the way beginning.
Yeah.
I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Well, the last person was from a borough last week.
Leon.
We got two
Harris.
boroughs in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two boroughs. He's from the Bronx.
I knew it was a B.
Yeah, there's only 2 B boroughs. There's one or the other. But I was born in Brooklyn. I am the first, my mother lovingly calls the first Yankee in the family.
Oh.
My family's from Barbados.
Okay.
Another B word.
Sure.
And it is like all things Barbados and culture
Okay.
for my
Sure.
family. And so I was born in Brooklyn. And then when I was like 8-ish, my dad joined the Navy. So we became that like roving military family.
Okay.
So I lived in Virginia once before. I lived in Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. Then we lived in Washington State in the middle of nowhere. I remember being traumatized when my mother told us we were moving to Washington. I pulled out an atlas because I am that old.
Sure.
So they had
Encyclopedia Britannica, the W edition. Yeah.
I had pulled out an atlas and I was like, it's not on here.
It's not
That's
even
how small
on
the town
here.
was. And then we moved to California. I joined the Army at 17.
Wow.
Yeah. My mother had to sign my Army papers, like a permission slip
Wow.
for me to go. Went into the Army as a military intelligence analyst. 3 days after my high school graduation, I was at basic training.
Where'd you do your basic training?
Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah, because I joined on California side. So
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it was 3 intel analysts and a whole bunch of truckers.
Really?
Yeah. So it was me, 2 other analysts that went with me to my secondary training in Arizona, and then like a whole bunch of like 88 mic truck drivers.
Really?
That's Missouri.
And like chemical people. So
Okay.
it was a really interesting
It's an eclectic group there.
exposure
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
right.
And yeah, so I joined the military right out of high school, then did my training in Arizona. Then I went to Georgia, then Florida.
Coming
Then I
back east.
Yeah. Then I got deployed.
Okay.
So I did 3 tours in Afghanistan, pretty close to back. 18 months, 12 months, 6 months. And then in between the first and second deployment, one of the non-commissioned officers, one of the sergeants was like, we need people to go on this like tour in Virginia. And they told me Charlottesville. I didn't know where that was. So it was again.
It wasn't on the atlas?
Was not on the atlas. Not the same way. So yeah, he was like, we're looking for people to come to Charlottesville. And so there were a group of 6 of us that came here from Afghanistan right around 2008, like right when the furloughs and
Oh yeah.
session,
Sure.
like when it all had hit.
Yeah.
We lost our orders. We stayed in Charlottesville, like all scrambled. I worked at the Lowe's on Woodbrook for a while.
Sure.
I was like 20. I think I was
Yeah.
My dad
21 or
used to be the
22.
manager there a long, long time ago.
What?
Really?
Yeah, he used to be the manager at Lowe's, and then he left there, and he went to, now he's a manager at one of the food lines. He's been at a couple of food lines. But,
What?
Cool.
yeah, that's remember there was a person here who worked at Lowe's. The guy who's on your board.
Sean?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Once
Because he was like, that's right.
that's how
That's
he
right.
knew my
That's right.
dad.
That's right. That's
Because
right.
my dad was there. He was the manager. Then when Sean was there, he was doing the car business and stuff.
Sure.
But what year would you say?
That was probably 2008.
My dad probably left by then.
I thought your dad was at Crutchfield.
No, that was that's
your
my
uncle? Okay.
Yes, he knew both of them.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah.
Small
yeah.
town.
I mean,
Yeah.
but big also though. I think it's like one of those things where you feel like you know everybody, and you're like, I know your face, but I don't know why I know your face.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time.
You see me yelling at
Well,
aisle
you're like,
11
hey,
of Lowe's.
Like, hey,
yeah.
girl. But I'd say it so much that people don't know it's because I don't know their name. Hey, girl.
I saw you on the phone too. Oh, my phone deleted your number.
That's always
Crazy.
But yeah, that brought me to Charlottesville in 2008.
So you came here to do what? Were you gonna be at Injic? Were you
Yeah, I
gonna?
worked at
Okay.
Injic.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I came here, worked at Injic, went on another deployment, then came back, and I've been here pretty much ever since. There was one blip. I was looking to leave Charlottesville. I had, I was in an interview process for another intelligence agency, and I met my husband here.
I was gonna say, what made you say? But makes sense.
And he was actually interviewing for the same agency in a different office, and we both just
Met in the lobby during the interview.
yeah
To meet cute.
we meet cute. He was doing his new employee orientation, and I was a person that was like his buddy essentially.
Oh, really?
Right.
And we became like best friends, and we've been married now 14 years. Last month.
14
Oh,
years.
congratulations.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I know. So
Congratulations.
we had our son here,
Yeah.
so now we're here.
There you go. Yeah.
Now
Charlottesville
he's a
has-
Charlottesvillian.
Yes, I've been told though that I'm not a Charlottesvillian, though
here
I've
we
been
go.
here 20 years.
Okay.
I think
almost.
20 is the number I heard.
Is it?
Oh, so I'm close. Like I'm
I
at
heard
2008.
once you're 20, you're from Charlottesville.
Yeah.
You're just
But
saying
someone told
things
me before
confidently.
that I was not.
I heard it's 10 years.
I was like, they were like, we will grandfather in
Yeah.
some older people. Like,
Interesting.
And I was like,
Okay.
really? I said, I've been here for a long time. I said, I have my son here. They're like, oh, he's from Charlottesville.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, he's
It's
a
birthright
Charlottesvillian.
citizenship through and through and
Yeah.
through.
It works the same way it worked on the
That's
grand
exactly
scale.
right. That's
I
exactly
was like,
right.
well,
yeah.
one day, hopefully, I'll.
Is your husband from here?
No.
Where's he from?
He's also in the military. So, and he grew up in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
And then
okay.
he was also a military brat. So
And
they
you went
did
through
Germany
Arizona
and
too,
stuff.
Oh,
though.
sure. Okay.
Yeah. And we weren't at training at the same time. I was 2 years ahead of him
But say,
in training.
you passed each other like trains in the night.
I know, but that's the
Years apart.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's funny though, because by the time he got to training in Arizona, he would hear these stories about this one group that would get in all this trouble. And once they were telling these stories, and I was
Yeah.
like, that was my group.
That's
I'm
really?
See, it's all connected. 6
we
degrees
were-
or whatever they say.
We were wild soldiers in
I love
in the
that.
desert. And
Really?
yeah, by the time he came in a couple of years later, they
They
had
had
like
to tighten up.
tightened it all up.
We don't let you wear green shoes because there was a group that would wear green shoes
Pretty
and
much.
hang upside
Yeah,
down.
you're the older
There were,
sibling. You're
bars
like,
that
all
they
right,
couldn't
yeah.
go
like-
into.
yeah.
There were places that they couldn't go. They had like curfews.
All the rules are because somebody else
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
living
right.
their
That's
best
exactly
life.
right. You
Yeah.
know, you see those things on the highway. It's like, don't drive on the median. You're
You're
like,
like,
why do you
why
have
would
that
you
sign?
need
You're like,
that?
because someone
It's
did
'cause someone did it.
Because
Yeah, it
someone
was-
Every
did
time I
it.
see a sign, I was like, no one thought about that till you said it. They're like, oh, somebody.
Oh,
But
yeah,
someone did.
We
somebody
had to
did
create a
it.
policy in a situation.
That's exactly right.
I mean,
That's
I'm in
exactly
HR.
right.
It's definitely because someone did it before.
That's right.
Yeah.
Someone done did it. If you're just jumping in, this is Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WINA. Price Markey here in the studio with Carla Hallman. Big thanks to our friends, our sponsors, Jefferson School Foundation. That's jeffersonschoolfoundation.org. Was he in the same path as you? Was he on an intelligence path too? Is that were you
yeah.
both sort of in the Injic magnet and then?
Yeah, we were
Okay.
we were both analysts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you meet, you get married. Is he? I'm assuming you're both out.
No,
Now, or-
he is still in the military.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. How has I'm interested. So my father, both my in-laws were Marines, but I'm interested in sort of the transition. Like, how did you, just what was that like? Of sort of, did you get out? Did you get all the way out? I know you said you
It's
flirted
actually
with
funny.
moving, but
By the time we got serious, by the time we decided like we were going to be each other's person, I was right at the cusp of my 12 years of my contract. Because back in the day, the contracts were long.
when Encyclopedia Britannica was still books.
Now you can do like a 3-year like Army contract, but back in the day it should be like a full like 8.
A decade.
Yeah, you were in there.
Okay.
So I was right on like the tail end of my contract, and we decided we want to have a family. So we both know people who have had both parents deployed at the same time.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do that.
Sounds complicated.
I was like, rock, paper, you're it, because I had done 3 deployments, and at that time he had not done any, and I was like, this is all you.
Totally.
Take it, have it, love it.
Also, I mean, let's just be clear about like the biology. Like, you got to do most of the work. I used to joke when people are like, it's like, you guys are having a kid. I was like, full disclosure, I'm not really doing anything. Right? Like, I love that for me, and thank you for that. I'm cool. Like, I'm not doing a ton. I will, but for the next couple months.
Yeah, you're just.
I'm pretty good.
You're pretty much
so that it seems like kind of, and maybe not even that. I'm like, this is like the line cook or something. Like,
yes, chef.
Yeah, right.
And so I actually shredded my my personal soldier ID that expired, and got my spouse ID at the same appointment. They were like, thank you so much. But the transition was interesting at first.
Yeah.
My first civilian quote unquote job was at World Strides.
No kidding.
Wow. And I was a sales administrator. It was just different. Like, the cadence was different. The people were different. There are so many things you don't realize that you love or hate about being in the service that you all miss. You miss like all of it.
What was what was the weirdest thing? Like, what was the thing that you were like, I didn't really think I would miss that?
The sense of urgency.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like
was doing emails, whatever,
and it was just like that was always an interesting piece of it. Like, people were just like never in a hurry, or it was never a big deal. Right?
Okay.
I think, and I mean that in a really good way.
Yeah.
Sure, totally.
Yeah, you know, like, there's so much hurry up and wait about being in the military. So thinking about, people be like, oh yeah, the deadline is Friday, and then there was no, like, you were on your own to figure out that space. It was an interesting thing,
Yeah.
And even some of the like annoying things, but it's things that I now realize it's the military's way to like try to get everyone together in one alignment, and things that I think are funny now. Like, I still am not good on walking on grass, because Sergeant Major will always yell, like, get off my grass, because when you're walking on a base, you can't cut across the grass. And it's a really small thing.
Okay.
And now that I work at a golf course, I walk on the grass all the time. And
Don't you dare. Like, jumping through the sand traps.
And I actually made a joke to our director of Greens and Grounds, Scott. I was like, I feel bad playing golf on your course because I don't want to mess up the grass. And he's like, that's really the point of it.
That's right. Like, we got people that are really good at that. Like, they can fix that.
You're fine.
Yes.
Like, he's we have a really great team.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to do that transition. And I think I'm more used to it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it helps form my empathy. Like, I can empathize with people when they're having a bad day. And then I had an employee once who was like, you're not going to feel like this is a bad thing because you've been to war. And I was like, sure. I was like,
you got me there.
I was like, I'm not going to say that what you're feeling isn't real, because I also know, like, empathy is real. I was like, granted, do I think this is the end of the world?
Sure.
No.
Sure.
But I can empathize right now where you're feeling, and like, I can help you navigate this calmly, because for me, this is not the most extreme thing that has happened.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So
is there a thing? And I only ask this question because I'm interested. Is there a thing that you didn't like, but that you found yourself missing? Right? So a thing that you would reflect on and be like, that was terrible. But then you have those moments where you're like, you know what? Like, and I only say this in the context of like, I sometimes in the sports world miss, like, I tell this story, I've told this story before. I got in a fist fight with like my then roommate, who was also the best man at my wedding, who is now like, we're like close family friends, vacation together, the whole thing. Yeah. Like, I can't do that. Like, I like miss that. And it's like a very weird thing to be like, that opportunity to like have like
Fisticuffs?
just like the expression of
expression
like raw
of
emotion,
raw emotion
Yeah.
safely,
and
to
in a
know
way
at
that's
the
not
end
going to be
that,
prosecuted.
you know,
That's right. That's right.
And I could see that. I think there is a sharpness for being in the military and being around a lot of people who've been through the same thing that you have that you don't get in the civilian world. Like, I think, and I mean this in like both a loving way. It's like, I know probably if I want to get my feelings hurt, I'm gonna call my best friend.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's right. It's true.
It's like there's a raw honesty that you get that you don't have in the civilian sector. I think that is because there's so much more weight to it.
Yeah.
Right? There's so much more consequence.
The stakes are much higher. Right. Yeah.
So, and I think because you've all been through basic and AIT, you've all known this whole idea of like soldier first, then you learn your job. It's the reason why everyone goes to basic training. You learn the basics of being a soldier, because if something happens, you need to know like how to duck and cover, right? Sprint, drag, go. And then there's like, then you learn the job that you're hired to do. So I think there's a lot of like going through that terribleness, you know, and it's, and even you see it when you talk to veterans, you know, everyone hates basic training. Anyone who says they love basic training are nuts, or they've been out for a while. Because then you realize it's so ridiculous. It's probably the funniest thing you've ever been through.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I remember there's a course called the Night Infiltration course. They call it Naked Night Infiltration course.
Okay.
Right. And
solid reference.
Naked Night.
Naked Night, right? And I remember the day we did our night infiltration course for my basic training, we had to do a 12-mile march to get there. And then it rained. It rained on the march. Okay. So by the time we got to the course, which is a sand course, it's covered in water.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just gross. So you go through the whole thing. And then things like where I went to basic, if you were the good platoon, you got the bus with air conditioning. Okay. But if you weren't the good platoon, you just got a bus.
Yeah, right. That's right. That's right. That's
you know?
It's a lot like how we do elementary school.
And so you get back, and I remember for some reason we ended up being the good platoon, but being on the bus with air conditioning, we were all freezing because we were just soaked. And just sitting there and like giggling because like we all just were so happy to finally be on this bus. We're all shivering. And it's like, this sounds like torture. But really, like when I talk to people that I went to training with, like we tell these like funny jokes, you know, and then you graduate and you go do your training, and like drill sergeants are drill sergeants forever. So then I ended up deployed with my husband's drill sergeant. Oh, right? Really? So being with his group that he went, like all of our best men, like our groomsmen were all people he went to basic training with. I called them the Three Stooges. They called themselves the Three Musketeers. There you go. But, you know, like...
It's a thin line between a stooge and a musketeer.
You know, I love all three of them so much. Right. And they were telling these stories about their drill sergeant, and I was like, oh, James? And they were like, time out. You should not be calling him James. Like, the fact that you know him by first name basis...
Can't tell the jokes. Now the jokes aren't funny.
That's right. That's right.
They were
only
so
funny
mad.
when you know those James.
They were like, you don't know how much you
right.
tortured us. And I was like, he's actually a really lovely guy. And they were like, I don't hear this.
Traitor!
So I think those are the types of things that, like, there's like that raw understanding that at the end of the day, like, we still love each other. We're still in the same goal. It is a different thing to find that in the civilian world. If you find it, like, covet it. You have to like hold on to it. But it usually takes something like a sport or some sort of team thing to really understand that like trauma bonding.
It's probably the closest thing to it. Yeah, absolutely. What are you looking at me like that for?
Oh, I didn't know if you were going to do it.
No, I can, sure. While we're here, you're listening to Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WINA. Price, Markey here back in the studio with Carla Hallman. And again, a thanks to our sponsor, the Jefferson School Foundation. Reimagine, redefine, refueled for the future. That is jeffersonschoolfoundation.org.
So, through all your deployments, you're stationed in Charlottesville, when did you found your company and what made you want to do that?
So that is actually a mostly recent development.
Oh, okay.
I think I have stumbled upwards many times in life.
I also feel like I'm stumbling.
I love data and like analysis. Obviously, that's what got me into the Army. But I stumbled into HR through a data analyst space. And I think, to what we're talking about like culture and people and like creating that teamwork aspect, there's so much of that in people and culture that is really interesting. And I think if you have an understanding of, how different people learn, how different people communicate, how different people manage, it helps you create that empathy-based direction, right? Like if you are a person that receives information like warmly and softly with flourish and extra words, and you have someone come in and go, do this, you're like, ugh, this person hates me. It's like, no, they don't. But if you learn how this person communicates, you can find that place in the middle. So that was really what had like prompted me to really start that. And it's more of a side project because I do a lot of this work at Farmington, but I think I'm really lucky. I came onto a super amazing team, and I see how well the team already had worked when I started, and like really the culture was there and has been growing and building. And knowing that we had other people who were like asking us like, how do you guys get there? Or like, what do you contribute to this is kind of what had prompted me to do this. And it's mostly side stuff. So but it has been really helpful. I've done everything with helping HR professionals think about, what does empathy look like when you have to be almost the enforcer, It's like, how do you turn the HR office to not be the principal's office, but also to know that it is. I mean, like other than the legal department and maybe a CEO, right? The HR, it's more than the handbook, right? I do have a training called, I know you didn't read it, but you signed it.
Yeah.
Oh,
which is why we have an employee handbook.
Oh, you got me.
Isn't that like the theory of every disclosure as an adult is like,
I was supposed to read it. I thought you just wanted to sign it.
No, you're supposed to. But once you sign it, I still have to hold you accountable to it. But other than the employee handbook, it's the state law that changes with the wind, and federal law that we have to abide by. So other than the legal team, like I there are sometimes I have to say like, I hear you, I understand. Here's the law.
Sure.
And that, so you have to sometimes find that balance, because you do want to be an advocate for your team, but you also have to make sure that they're safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what kind of got me into thinking about Mosaic.
Talk a little about the board you serve on. We always ask people, what kind of board you serve on, and how did you get involved in those things?
It's so funny because I did some volunteering before I moved to Charlottesville, and I've really found my passion in that since. And it was through a really like weird route.
I got into volunteering really weird.
I did. So I was, I had first moved here. I was single. I didn't want to be home alone. So I started working at the mall at Fashion Square. I used to work at Coach.
Oh yeah.
Just so like
R.I.P. Fashion Square.
I know. And I loved working at Coach because, for one, I loved Coach bags, but it was just like, it got me out of the house and like talking to strangers.
Yeah.
And that was the extrovert in me didn't want to be at the house alone. And
sure. Okay.
I wasn't yet wanting to like go to bars or anything like
that.
That. So I was like, and I wasn't going to UVA, so I went to the corner once. I felt weird. And then
is that a space for every? Can you? It's space for every. You said you used to go when you were.
Well, I think it is probably
when
now.
Students are
but
when students are.
Yeah.
You can't go when we're here.
But I think at the time I was student aged, but not a student.
Right. So how would anybody know?
They wouldn't, but again,
but I felt like
there are questions people ask. Actually,
no, I don't think anybody would have known. But it's hard to do unless you have some kind of plug, right? So like, I'm from here, right? So if I would ever come here in college, there was a bunch of people I knew.
Right.
Yeah.
So I could just float around with the people I knew who either went here or the rest of us who were from here.
Yeah.
Right? I can't imagine going to like Madison, Wisconsin and just like turning up on State Street and just being like, hey,
I'm here.
You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah,
I'm
just like,
I'm not that extroverted.
Like, and that's the other thing too. Like, you could do that.
Yeah,
I would never do that, right? And so I think we are like sort of the three.
Great.
We hit all the stages of the continuum on that, right?
And I think that, granted, I was like probably maybe 21 at that time,
right?
So I was working at Coach, and I was telling one of my coworkers that I was really thinking about volunteering. And she was like, oh, you should come to this event. And it was a junior league introduction event. And I had no idea what the junior league was because I just
what is
was
the
not
junior league?
It's a all women's organization.
I thought it was a women's organization.
Yeah, it's an all women's organization. It actually started in New York. A lot of people don't realize
cool.
that. It started in New York in I think 1902, 1907, something like that. It's been around. It's been around a minute.
Wow.
And it started off so that there was like women who were volunteering for like orphanages and creating education and lunches for people, for a lot of the workers' children in New York at the turn of the century. So it's an all women's organization, and the whole purpose of the league is to build civic leaders. So there were trainings on how to do good board service and parliamentary procedure. And one of the things you got to do were these things called projects in a day. So nonprofits around Charlottesville would say like, hey, I need a volunteer to do this. So I did everything from being a paddle raiser at a fundraiser to like parking, parking cars at the women's 4-miler. I did that one year. We also had a program. I think they still have a program now. I think it's changed and morphed in the years, called Learning Circles with the Boys and Girls Club of Central Virginia, where we would meet with girls every Monday and we would provide dinner. And we were the goal was to be like the conduit between like your older sister and your mom. You know, like you wanted to like, you know, like that like older adult that could be there for you through, you know, as you were like growing. It was like preteen girls.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I got into volunteering in Charlottesville. And she said, oh, well, it's great. You know, you can join the league, you can figure out which nonprofit you like, and then you can like go do something else.
Yeah.
I ended up being president of the league at one point because I love the junior league because it did so much for me to teach me how to be a good volunteer and to find things that I was passionate about, and then also to be a good, you know, like board member. So I did, you know, the ground up of volunteering, and now I'm actually on the board of the Paramount Theater and Boys and Girls Club of Central Virginia. And so those are the two that really like
stuck. And did you volunteer with them while you're at the junior league? Were you doing odd jobs for them?
I did. Well, yeah. So the PADs are usually like 4 to 6 hours. You know, it's like we're doing this event, and you know, like, we need extra hands.
Programs, projects in a day.
Yeah. They used to call them,
It's like PAD.
They used to call them also done in a day. They've changed the like nomenclature throughout the years, but I think that's still the core of it is to just really like to teach, to teach people how to be like great leaders, right? Or just even to think about their community, you know. And I think what's great about Charlottesville is that we have such passionate people here. I mean, like, there's so many nonprofits in the area, and there's so much.
I think we got the most per capita. It's not a fact because I don't know the stats, but it feels like it.
I mean, we definitely have a lot, especially for the population we have. But
yeah,
there's
absolutely.
so much that, you know, gets done, right? It's not like it's just all fluff. Like there are like what you do, United Way, Price what you do. You know, I think there's so much to the work that is getting done in Charlottesville, which is what I think drives me to like want to do more and want to give back to our community. I know, but I've done other boards. I think that's
you done rolled off a couple boards too.
Yeah, well, my term limits and such.
If I could have stayed forever.
I mean, I think there's so many nonprofits in our area that have been absolutely fantastic, and they do such great work. Yeah. I was previously on Georgia Friends.
Yes.
Yeah, we had her in here.
Yeah,
she's great.
Christina is fantastic.
She's so fantastic.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, she's great.
And does such great work for her organization. And it's also like people like Christina, right? Like like there's I'm like, what can I do to help you, help others, right?
Yeah.
And I think that it flows so well even into my job, right? Being HR for a hospitality organization, I don't see the members on a day-to-day basis, right? Like my job is to not see members. Right. But my job is to ensure that the staff is taken care of so that they can take care of somebody else. Like it's hard to take care of someone else when you're feeling depleted. So like my job is to ensure. Put your mask
on first, they say.
I say airplane mode a lot. We call it airplane mode.
Airplane mode.
Put your mask on.
That's good. That is good.
Put your mask on first before you before you can help somebody else, right?
Let me ask you like a process question. So you mentioned it, obviously your career as a veteran, and then you move into like a role that is like very people-y, and people have all manner of ideas and feelings and wants and needs.
Yes.
And how do you manage that? How do you manage, again, given sort of where you've mentioned or at least alluded to, like, you have your personal experiences where you have sort of a perspective on what's urgent, what's important, what's catastrophic. And now you are in charge of sort of helping to mediate probably a lot of different versions of that. How do you do that, again, mixed with like there's a business to run,
Yeah. I think process-wise, the end is the beginning, right? I think if you know what the mission is and you know what the ultimate goal is, it helps you bring everything back, right? So I'm a big collaborative person. I think that's one of the things I learned about being in the military is we all have different upbringings and we all see things from a different perspective. So you have to know that people are going to come in with like their own ideas and it's not to say that there's no bad idea, because sometimes there are.
I agree with that.
But also I think...
Do you believe that?
That there's no bad ideas?
Or that there are?
Oh yeah, there are bad
I think so too. How did we get there?
Whoever started that, why
Like,
did
how
you
did we
say
get
that?
there?
I think
You
it's
had a
kids
bad
that-
idea. Whoever said that?
Yeah.
That was a bad idea.
Kids. Like,
Yeah.
we want to encourage asking questions.
That's a different thing. You're allowed
I know,
to
but
not know.
We've moved that to adulthood, but I disagree.
But
There are lots
I
of
think
dumb
we got
questions.
to
I
a
get dumb
point, and
questions
now we're
every
off
day.
topic, but I think we got to a point where like you're not allowed to not know stuff. Right? I think you have to be
Sure.
like allowed
Yeah.
to not know stuff. So you can be
And I
like,
think
look,
that's where
that doesn't make
you-
any sense, and that's okay because
Right.
that's not a thing that you
and
know.
you can know that it's a bad idea and like put that in a different spot, right?
Yeah.
So I think
Or you could just be like, I'm going to say 10 things, 8 of them will be bad. But
Sure.
we're gonna
There could be
iterate,
something
we're gonna
that's gonna
iterate,
be
we're
in
gonna
there.
get through it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, and so I think there's two things. It's like we have sometimes made the quote unquote bad idea like less valuable than I think it is as an iterative part of the process.
it is an iterative
right?
part. It is definitely an iterative part of
But
the
we
process.
also, I think, to your point, can't hold that up and be like, oh yeah, just be like, nah, no, it
that's
ain't
a bad
that. But
Yeah.
right?
But
You
what
got
can we pull
something
from
here.
it? What can we pull from it is
Right.
definitely, it's,
Sure.
It's like, they say like in improv, the yes and, right?
That's right.
Right?
That's
I think that's
That's
where
right. That's right.
that's where
That's
the
where your board service at the
brainstorming-
Paramount comes in. Yes,
Yeah,
and improv.
Up on
Well,
stage
luckily,
there. yeah.
luckily, the best part about being on the board is they don't ask me to do any sort of
Like,
performing,
would
right?
you get into performing for us?
See
A board-
that?
a board
That was
performance.
just about to
Take
say
that back.
that should be a part of the
board
mandate.
performance.
Yeah,
She
once
gonna
a
make-
year, the
next
board
week.
has to perform.
I don't
yeah.
can't wait till that comes
anyone
out.
on
Yeah.
our board
Direct.
would want to do that.
Yeah, come on, I want to see Pam Edmonds on stage.
But I think that's where you have a good part, right? I think to know the overall mission, you know the goal, right? We know what our mission is, or if you don't know the mission, figure out the mission first, right?
Right.
Like, what is our mission? What is our end goal for this project? And then let people have their ideas, right? I think that brainstorming, iterative session, that design thinking piece is super important because you can get the bad ideas out of the way. Right, you can all acknowledge when they're like there goes a better idea, even if you don't want to say like that was terrible, right? You can be like, okay, we like this one better. Like let's take
Yeah.
this piece and we can go from there. And you have to do a lot of trust building at the start of it, and I think that's where when you have people who have different ideas, and you don't want to create that friction, right? You have to have like a trust, like we are all doing this for the same goal, for the same mission. I think having trust going in, establishing what the mission is, I think that helps
Yeah.
with getting a lot of people in the same room
Yeah.
to understand what we're doing going forward.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do have to say like, may not be what you want, or this may not feel great, but we're moving.
Yeah.
This is the direction we're going.
Sure.
So.
If you are just hopping in, this is Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WINA. Price, Markey, Carla Hallman here in the studio. Thanks to our sponsors, the Jefferson School Foundation, jeffersonschoolfoundation.org, to learn more, to stay connected. How'd you end up at Farmington?
A friend of mine
Yeah?
interviewed there, and she was interviewing for this role, and she called me. She said, "I actually think this is your role."
Oh, I love friendship.
What?
Yeah. It wasn't something she was looking for at the time, and she just was hearing about what they were looking for, and she was like, "I actually think you would like my
Were you at
colleague."
World Strides then?
No, I was at CFA Institute at that point.
You are also from the CFA diaspora.
I am.
I think CFA and Merkel have the two
CFA,
biggest.
There used to
That
be
building
a
that's
huge team.
they don't use anymore.
It
right?
used
They
to be the
moved-
hospital.
It used to be on the hospital.
Yeah,
Market.
Yeah.
across that now it's a coffee shop across the street. There's a
Yeah.
What is
Hi.
it? What is it now?
CFA is still there on one of
Oh,
the
is it?
floors.
Oh, okay.
I think
Okay.
they sold most of the building, and then there's
I
like
think Joel
labs
was
and
also
stuff
worked at
there now.
CFA.
Who's this?
See, my cousin Gerard, I think he worked there too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I was
yeah,
like,
yeah. And I mean, people. Kelly Palmer was there,
A lot of
and I
people
mean, a
were
lot of
there.
people worked at CFA.
I worked
Yeah,
across the hallway from Kelly.
yeah, yeah.
Ages
Oh,
ago.
my
Okay.
goodness.
Yeah. What were you, so you skipped that part of the what was that after World Strides? You go World Strides CFA.
Yeah,
Okay.
through the junior league. I mean,
Really?
talk about all the different things.
There you go. See?
I'm about to call the junior league up after this.
They are
They
great.
putting people out.
They're a great organization. Someone posted on the
This is crazy.
you know,
time I was
shout out
looking
to Liz. Liz posted on the like internal Facebook group,
Mm.
"Hey, my team is looking for someone," and
And she already knew you was a leader.
no, she posted it like on the like junior league page, and so I sent her a note. I was like, "Hey, can you tell me a little bit more?" And I interviewed and I got it. So I worked on their society relations team, and then they needed some help in HR, so I went into HR and
Okay.
I was an HR administrator and kind of worked my way from there and ended up being there for 6 or 7 years.
Oh wow.
And then started at Farmington in 2022.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was one of my colleagues who was like, "Hey, I just got a call and hearing what they like, and I think this might be something you should talk to them about." And I had actually, other than I think maybe one meeting, I had never stepped foot inside of Farmington, and I was like, I just kind of want to see the inside.
Right. Sure.
There's not a lot of people have been out there.
Well, and
unless you go to an event.
unless you go to an event,
yeah,
or if you're like,
Yeah.
and I didn't golf or anything beforehand or anything
Yeah.
like that, so there was no reason for me to like be down
Sure.
Abbey Road.
Yeah.
So I went to my first interview, and I met the CFO, Julie,
Yeah.
and in that like first meeting with her, I wanted the job.
Really?
I remember going like, well, I'm not really looking for a job. I was in my fourth year at UVA. It was COVID.
Yeah.
I decided to like go back to school to finish my
Okay,
bachelor's.
we missed all that too.
We'll jump all into
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
We didn't get into
Yeah,
any of
yeah,
that, but
We did.
We go back to go forwards. We,
we go back
yeah,
to go
yeah,
forward.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fine. And I went in, I met her, and I was like, I really like this team, and it's a beautiful place
Sure.
to work in general. Like the history nerd in me is like fascinated that there's Wi-Fi in a 400-year-old building. I think there's like some of those things, but just meeting her at first, like the first team aspect, I was like, she seems like she would be really good to work for.
Huh.
And then they told me I had to do a round of panel interviews.
Yeah. Sure.
And so I met her, and then I met Joe, our GM, Joe Kren. And, Joe said, we're not going to make this decision. The team will, because they have to be bought in for you, and you have to be their advocate. And I went into a day of panel interviews, and I met the whole team, and I came out being like, I will be so mad if I don't get this job.
Really?
And it has been like an amazing ride. It's crazy to think that it's been 4.5 years.
Yeah.
I remember when I started, they were talking about our centennial celebration in 2027, and I was like, "Oh, that's 5 years down the line,"
Sure.
and I've blinked, and here we are.
Yeah.
But it's such an amazing team, and it still is, which is also really great to like enjoy going to work every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is from a Charlottesville friend I connected into Farmington.
I don't think I've ever been to an interview and thought, God, my friend would be good at that. And she would have killed it. I've seen a job and sent it to somebody like, you told me you're looking, so if I see something, I'll send it to you. But if I'm going in, I'm trying to get it myself. I don't know about.
And I think
but I love that.
I
That's
think
friendship.
she went in with like they were. I think from some of the stuff that we had needed at the club with like a recruiting and some of the talent acquisition stuff, her background is stronger in that.
Yeah.
And so she said. So I think that's why she was the first point of contact, and I wasn't actively looking for anything. I was in the middle of a capstone. I was like,
Sure.
I was studying
Yeah.
all kinds of hours of the night.
Well, and you, judging by the age, you had a kid already.
Yeah, my son was 2.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So you weren't busy. Is what you were saying.
No, and
Yeah.
still working full time and
Yeah.
going to school.
Totally fine.
Yeah,
Normal
it was-
stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Right. I want more things to do at
I
that
will
point.
also
yeah.
say though, I mean, I don't mean to diminish any other husbands in the world, but I have the best husband.
But go ahead and
in the
diminish.
world.
No,
let's
actually,
diminish
my
other
wife has the
husbands.
best husband in the world.
I am so sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna make a plug for that guy who I've heard is pretty stellar.
I'm gonna put my hat on this one. This is,
My husband is the absolute best, and he is like the best dad. And I would sit through classes because it ended up being COVID, and so we had to create this little desk in like a nook of the kitchen. And he would just toss snacks at me from the kitchen. But he would take on all of this stuff to be there for Roman, our son, who is, and the two of them are still like two peas in a pod. I'm definitely like the third man in this this
sure.
outfit, and he's our only. So I think that helped a lot. That they knew when it was school time that I didn't have to worry about.
Yeah, that's right.
my son.
That's right. That's important. So talk about going back to school. Why then, and what was right. So you went into the military right after high school.
Right after high school.
And was that your first reintroduction? Like, did you go to school at all, sort of while you were serving or bopping around?
Yeah,
And you were just kind of keeping up with
I took
it.
actually a couple of classes while I was in Afghanistan.
Okay. Oh, really?
There was there's a program, Cochise College in Arizona, that helps like intel analysts get their degrees, and so I took a couple classes here and a couple classes there. I did like the online classes while I was there. They used to have classes in person in Afghanistan.
Cool.
On one of the main shopping areas, and so I went to classes, and I had like a smattering of
Okay.
stuff, and I want to say it was probably maybe 2018, 2019. I was like, I need to really get this going.
Okay.
So I went to PVCC,
Mm-hmm.
to catch up on some classes and really get back into the mindset of learning, and studying.
I don't think I can swing back into it.
Listen, let me tell you something. It's that.
It's
that.
This education system would crush me.
Oh, listen, I'll tell you that story later, but I've done a couple of those things where they're like, come back to class. After the first day, I'm like, ooh, I wasn't good at this the first time.
Yeah, it
no longer
takes
built for
a
it.
mental reset to even just thinking about writing papers. And this was before ChatGPT and Claude got hot, in 2024. So I was really
You was
struggling.
really writing.
I'm out here
I was
writing.
writing.
You
I
had
was
the
writing.
pen to paper.
Yeah, it's pen to paper for sure. So I went to PVCC, and then I applied to the School of Continuing Professional Studies at UVA, and got in. I got in. I remember the day I got the letter. I was in interviews for the next president of the junior league. I was the past president. I was about to be sunset.
Like emeritus.
Like emeritus. And we were in the interviews, and I remember looking down, seeing the email notification come through.
Yeah.
And so I always had to I was
No.
tabling myself,
Yeah,
right? I'm
yeah,
staying
yeah.
calm. This is not about me in this moment.
All right.
They took a screenshot of it, and I sent it to my friend Margaret. And she's calling me, and I'm hanging up the phone on her. 'cause I'm in
If
the
I
middle of
wanted to
interview.
call you, I would have called you. So I texted you. Text
I
me
hate when I
back.
said that's why they started calling me.
Crazy.
And it
I would call
But
you.
she was so
Crazy.
excited, so I finally called her back, and she sang the good old song on the phone.
And she was like, that's iconic.
Yeah, it was so good. And she was like, all right, I'll teach it to you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got to
You
get
do
the
need to
whole.
know it.
The end of it is
I
the
do
part
know
that
it.
gets
I
crazy.
got it.
Right?
I got it all.
Like UniV?
I don't know. I can go here.
I'm locked in. I'm a Wahoo all the way through. I fully embraced it. So I got in. I transferred in spring 2020. So I got 3 months of
I was
classes.
about to say,
in.
you went to school for
And then
90 days.
COVID hit.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. My husband was out of the country doing military stuff, and I had to call him and be like, I think you need to get home.
Oh, interesting.
And then he calls me a couple of days later and was like, yeah, something's happening. We don't know what's going on. They're sending us home.
Oh, okay.
So he got home I think he got home on the 10th of March.
Okay.
And then everything shut down in Charlottesville
Yeah.
on the 12th.
My daughter was born the 16th.
Yeah, it was we didn't know what was going on. And we, there was just the three of us, and we were like, I remember doing that first, like, I snuck out of the house. I went to get grit, coffee, and I felt so bad because we didn't know. And I was like, I gotta.
Hose yourself off.
Well, I did. I was the person that would wipe everything down at the door.
Sure.
And like run into showers.
That was crazy. It was a
I mean,
crazy time.
we were crazy people. We didn't know anything,
you know.
Would I do it
Should
again?
have told us something.
Would I do it again? Absolutely. Full safety. I don't care.
Oh yeah, no.
Absolutely.
So I went to UVA in the most non-traditional of non-traditional ways.
Yeah.
But I was really grateful to be here. I remember sometimes driving circles around Rugby Avenue at 10 o'clock at night because I just was like, if I'm near education, maybe
Osmosis.
Osmosis will help me with this paper.
And it did.
I would drive.
There's no science against
there
it.
There was no one on the road because of COVID. So it's just me like driving in circles.
Standing out front of a building like,
If I stand in front of the law building.
come on.
Yeah,
I can feel it.
It's true. I would drive in circles and I would talk to text ideas for my paper because I couldn't sleep. And then I was like, it was such a weird thing. But things we did during COVID. And then I graduated in 2022. And I love SCPS. And right when we were probably in that last year where everyone was starting to open up, the Student Veterans Association, that's in Newcomb Hall. We have a hallway in Newcomb Hall, which was great. So I would go down there to study, and I had another group of veterans that we all felt a bit like Billy Madison, like we were all like the old people in class.
Sure. Stay as long as you can.
Yeah. So it was really great. But yeah, I walked to the lawn.
Yeah.
Yes.
I walked to the lawn. I cried the entire way down. It was oh my
Doesn't
gosh.
feel like a big deal until you're walking.
It doesn't.
Like, you know what?
And
they got me, I guess.
You too? Really?
There was something about it.
Really?
My grandma was behind the little barrier because they put up those barriers.
Yeah.
Okay.
She like found me. I walked over. I was
Okay.
like, oh my god.
All right.
Yeah.
I really did this.
And I had a really amazing experience. I had both my mentor and her mentor, who were both doctorates from UVA.
Sure.
Walk with me. They held my hand. Like I could cry just thinking about it now. I have a picture of it on my wall in my office. And just like spoke like good words into me, which I needed. I think to think I joined the Army at 17 and I graduated from UVA at like 35.
Yeah.
So it was just, like a thing that I had to do to overcome. And, my husband was there and my mother was there and my sister was there. And like my three best friends were like screaming my name.
Yeah.
It was just,
Your son was there?
so my son does not do crowds. So
Same. We're going to be friends.
Oh, he does not do crowds. He loves music concerts, but he does not like crowds.
Really?
That's
Which
I think
is
that's interesting,
actually. I think music is his thing.
Okay.
So we've taken him to a couple of shows. He loves to go to a show with his like headphones on,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
sits
Love a
like
show.
in the rafters, and he's like happy to.
Oh,
clap.
interesting. Okay.
But like just people being
people
around,
yelling. That's not music.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not probably not pleasant to the ear. So he came to my graduation, like the
sure.
the ceremony.
Yep. Not the lawn.
I got the Edgar Shannon Award, so that was also really cool to get the Z Society Award that I didn't know
Okay, Z
was a
Society
thing.
Award. I love that.
I didn't know it was a thing.
what is
I don't know
that?
what that is, but Z Society, I know who they are.
It wasn't even on the program, which was so cool. They like rolled out this scroll.
They love a scroll.
and they read about.
That's why people make fun of y'all.
But you know what? Like I am the type of nerd that would completely embrace this in my 20s had I been here at UVA. And so
That's probably
They
fair.
love us.
That's
You would have been
probably
in
fair.
all the secret societies.
and I'm not in any of them. So that's but
you
even,
couldn't tell us if you were, so why are you pretending
right.
like we would know anyway?
But I think. But just like rolling out the scroll and them saying like we see
Was
what
there
you
like
do
a
for
trumpet,
the
like,
community. There wasn't a trumpet.
They do trumpets too.
They sometimes do, but there was no trumpet. But I still have the letter.
The honorable decree of
it
the
has
Z.
come down on this day in May.
It said we've been watching what you do in the community and how much you give for the school, and like it was a super cool thing. And they gave me a cup that had like a big Z on it, and like I was like shocked, and it was like such a cool thing.
Yeah.
And then like Monday I went back to work.
I had to change a diaper that day.
But it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but you know,
Not even on the program is cool though. You're like,
That is cool.
don't clap, don't stand up. We got one more thing to do. Sit
That's
down.
what happened.
Nobody knows
And
what's going on, yeah.
And and I knew as much as I love school, I love learning. My capstone was a survival exercise. So I knew I was going to graduate because I felt smart, but we didn't know.
I did 3 tours, but a capstone.
That's right.
On a capstone.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
just so
I
much
took classes in
thought work.
Afghanistan.
They call it a capstone because it makes
I was
you wanna
stressed at
be on a
Bodo's
headstone,
trying to
okay?
type this paper. Yeah.
So true.
Capstone, headstone.
But so I knew I wasn't going to get like the capstone. So I saw the program. I was like,
Yeah.
top capstone was not going to be me,
Yeah,
right? We were just happy to be there, right?
Yes.
So to get this like award and like and like everybody I know was there, like all the student veterans that I would study with were there. My best friends were there. My mom was there. So when they called my name, they were all like these different pockets of the room. So the room got like loud.
Yeah,
Like it was. I have it on video because one of the guys was like so excited his like hand started shaking.
Oh no!
But it was the best. So I mean, and now I know I go to every football game. I go to every women's basketball game. I go to my sister is a huge volleyball player. She played volleyball in college.
Yeah.
So
I love a volleyball game. We took our kids to volleyball games this year. They had a blast.
volleyball is so good.
Had
I
a
like when they moved into
blast.
the
JPJ.
JPJ. I
Yeah,
don't like them in the MEM.
MEM gym.
I don't like MEM gym.
I've MEM is very nostalgic. I used to play basketball in MEM gym when I was little.
Yeah.
I was in a secret society.
I love them everywhere.
I was in a secret society. It's
You
not
were?
Yeah, you graduate and we tell people. Yeah, I was in the Sable Society. It's one of the only black
Oh yeah.
historical secret societies at UVA.
Really?
So we come out at your graduation. So it's not. I mean, it was secret.
What were y'all
then,
doing?
We're doing a lot of like black cultural programming. We do it's called a Sable Society list where we acknowledge the black students and we're doing amazing work that aren't in the group, obviously. Yeah.
Y'all ain't that good. You all right? You're not that good. You're not good enough to be in here, but you're okay.
No, it's real recognized. It's real recognized and real. That's okay. It's like you may not know about us, but we know about you, which I think is kind of
We place things around grounds as we do.
You do what?
Like we used to place things around grounds
Like
during
what?
our anniversary, like workups of the first black student that went
There's a
there.
black bus
yeah,
stop
like
stuff.
black
When
bus
would you
stop,
like do that? You're like at 3 a.m.
Yes.
Like, really?
Yes.
Why'd you look at me
Yeah,
like
when
that?
else are we gonna do it?
That's what I'm
It won't
asking.
be secret.
Oh,
We
that's
don't put
what-
on
that's-
robes. We don't have no robes.
What-
We
why-
got robes.
You
and
need to get robes.
Yeah.
Why not?
What were you doing? I just out there in like a
just
ski
walk-
mask and like.
Can you say that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not
You giving the game away. You got people out there in the middle of the
now
night,
somebody's
like.
gonna be there at 3 a.m.
Yeah. Did you have like a false flag where you would like run up somewhere and it would be like, oh, it's them? Be like, just kidding. You're like, I'm just a DoorDash person.
No.
Like,
I
psych.
love them. I used to love the imps. I was like, I want to be an imp. That's what I used to say all the time.
Which one? What is that?
The imps are they're like the class, not class clowns, but like the humorous,
They're the
like
humorous
devilish,
ones.
devil's
Okay.
advocate. They go and do like really
They do all the
fun
pranks.
pranks and stuff.
Okay.
I had a lot of friends in the imps.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
like, aren't I funny?
I didn't do any of that stuff. I was as I
You
mentioned, I had
were
a
a
2-year-old.
full. You were a full adult. You were like,
running around
yeah.
doing things.
Yeah.
I would go to SVA in the middle of the night after bedtime
Right.
and study.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, yeah, you were an adult with other responsibilities.
I'm. My husband tells me I can't push UVA too hard because my son won't go there. But I'm like,
Okay.
I was like, I'm not doing anything. And my husband went to Maryland, so I'm like, you're not even relevant. This is not even a thing. You just don't be mad about it. And it's funny. He's like, I swear I have more UVA swag because you buy everything in the house than I was like, I bought one Maryland sweater. Like, be happy.
Okay.
Right?
That's pretty good.
Granted, half my closet is orange blue because
Yeah.
I'm a Wahoo all the way.
Shout out College Park. What about you? Are you?
I have a lot of UVA. I mean, still, I have a lot of
Really?
well, they give you lots of free T-shirts.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, you
Give
go to
lots
enough
of
games.
free T-shirts, but then you become an adult. You can't wear your youth T-shirts. But I do have I have Christmas ornaments. I have
Okay.
those banners. I go to since I'm a season ticket holder for UVA.
Yeah.
I have
the
like
coasters.
3 foam fingers. I have it in every color you can get. I got it in orange, blue, black. I take my foam finger. You've never seen me in my big totem. I have one of those large UVA necklaces with
It's got the
5
big,
inches.
It's got the big
a big
the
V on it.
V. It's got
big.
this.
and it's huge, like
Like-
hip hop chain.
Like a chain.
Yeah, it's like a
chain?
chain
A
link.
chain link
No, I've not
Yeah.
seen
with my
that.
in the totem is the UVA.
Yeah,
symbol.
it's
Okay.
got the cross
I
cap.
wear
I've
my
not seen
totem
this.
during basketball season.
Okay.
Like, and then I have a mini totem. Like I have
Sure.
I have 3 hats.
As one
I
does.
have pants. I have.
Interesting. Wow. Okay.
I'm a big
Wahoo's.
Wahoo fan.
Okay.
Go Whoos.
I do believe my mom, but I'm a legacy. My mom went there, and my aunt went there.
Sure.
And Gerard went there for his grad school. Everybody go. My cousin, another cousin went there after me. I don't know. It's, we just doing the thing. But I guess it ain't been nobody since my cousin graduated. But we gonna get back into the swing of things.
Is that right?
Well, no, because ain't nobody having
kids.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
They might be a little early.
My cousins is not having no kids. There are 20 of us, and my cousins there's only 2 of the great grand cousins. So my 2 of my cousins have kids. Oh, 3. Sorry, Gerard just had Libby.
Yeah, that's right.
3. We only have 3. So
they'll come.
That's right.
Okay, just once they get old enough, then they'll go to UVA.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Those 3 we got, maybe we got 3 chances right now.
That's right. In 15 years.
You got time.
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go. I learned something.
I learned so much.
Let me ask you one more question, then get you out of here. Just advice, sort of a 2-parter. You can take either one. Advice to younger you is one I like, or just advice to folks who are coming into civilian life. What would you have told yourself about that transition that would have made it either easier or maybe there were parts of it that were hard that you wish you would have embraced, in a different way?
Ooh, actually, younger me. I think younger me, older me, anybody. I think having continuous curiosity is what will help. In the Army, there are times that you have to be good at a thing. You have to, whatever you do, you have to be the best at it. And that's really the goal. And you come into the civilian world and you realize you're not good at anything.
Right.
Because you don't know what you don't know.
Sure.
And you have to have that curiosity to want to get to know more, to figure out what's next so that you can give it your all. And then you also have to realize when your all is enough. That's a weird way to say that. Sometimes you want to push yourself past because you're mentally, I could do more. But reality may not match. So you have to be sometimes being okay with being okay. I think younger me would have needed that advice at the beginning.
Instead of the end.
I think I came out doing too much, right? And I was I need to.
You're trying to catch up all at once.
Right. I felt like I had to catch up on life and social and learning new people and doing new things and pace yourself, and also be curious about it. That was definitely something you need. I think it's something that I keep doing. There's always a respectful way to ask why.
Yeah. That, folks, is
That's
Carla
how you end the show.
Hallman.
With
That's
advice
excellent.
to younger you.
If you have ideas for the show or want to get in touch with us, check us out on social media, all platforms at United Way CVille, at City of Promise. The inbox is open and vision at unitedwaycville.org. How do folks keep in touch with you? How do they learn more about you, your work?
If you want to learn more about Farmington, we have a website, farmingtoncc.com. We have an Instagram page at Team Farmington.
Okay.
It really highlights our amazing team. We have really great chefs. Our pastry chef just won a TV show, so
What?
Oh,
no spoilers.
Okay.
But he's
right.
pretty awesome. Our front of house staff, our golf team, they're all fantastic. So at Team Farmington, if you want to learn about the team, at the Carla Hallman is my Instagram, or LinkedIn me anytime.
Your website coming.
And
That's
the
what I heard.
website's up and
That's what I heard.
Website,
It'll be what you think it would be.
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
There's a good website
I'm in the
coming.
URL. She's gonna use her name in it.
I'm gonna highlight. I'm gonna highlight Marquee.
Definitely you
completed
should.
on behalf.
You should. You should. Promoed by. As heard on. As seen on TV.
Yeah.
We get support on the show from folks like you. If you like what you hear, share with your friends, your colleagues, random strangers if that's your thing. You can be found on your favorite podcast platform. Best way to support us, consider making a donation. Time, talent, treasure at City of Promise, United Way, any of our other great nonprofits. That's how we continue to do our community-based work. And of course, this show. Big shout out Jefferson School Foundation. That is jeffersonschoolfoundation.org to learn more and to stay connected. For Carla and Marky, this is Price. Make sure you listen to all our other episodes of Vision Radio, wherever you get your podcast. Rate, review, subscribe, show notes. We'll figure it out. Get your intern on that. We'll see you next week.
Peace.